Hello people of the internet, George with virtual staging here. Have you wondered why there's so many bad photos posted online of real estate? Yeah, I thought the same, nobody knows. And it is the realtor's responsibility to make the photos at least look nice for their listings. But sadly, the reality is very different from what it should be. We've used to see photos like this and that and this and this, and that was one of the main reasons I started helping people to visualize their properties for sale with the help of virtual staging and interior design workflow. In this video, you will learn how to transform this photo to this beautiful catching eye. Oh yeah, I made a mistake again. Virtual stage image like this one, and you will learn how to overcome the exposure of this image, how to match the perspective of this really complicated room, how to build the room, and a few other tricks in 3ds Max. And in the end of this video, there will be a quick post-production part to finish the image. And without further ado, let's crack on. Because of the length of this video, most of the tutorial will be silent and I'll make comments here and there only where I think it's really appropriate and valuable for you, of course. And if you're a more advanced user, you know what you should do. Use the timestamps to move across. It will save your life and your time. And now, let's assume that you've been watching the other videos on my channel. Actually, you've watched all the videos on my channel, or maybe not. Every project in virtual staging starts with perspective matching, and this is what I do. This is basically the first step of this video as well. In case you have missed that really important tutorial, go and watch the video in the link down the description box. There will be a link or maybe a couple of links. Go and watch all of those, including the really important one. And then you know what you do. If you're not subscribed, click that really nice button called subscribe. And then like the video, or if you're subscribed, leave a comment, like the video, share it with your friends. It will help me, it will help you, you will help everybody on this planet. And here I'm repeating myself, but what you see me doing right now on the screen is modeling the geometry of this room. For this project, I've picked more complex room, which requires of course more modeling to match the real proportions of the space, and the main key point on building a complex spaces like this one, or maybe even more complex, with this approach is to make sure you are setting the vanishing lines absolutely correctly. If you miss those, your proportions will be very different from the reality, therefore your project will look out of proportions and people will start calling you you're doing fake projects, and they will look really fake, by the way. Always make sure to check the lighting with objects. In my case, I use spheres in different materials. Sometimes there are two, one, or maybe more, depends on the scale of the project. In this case, I use two spheres. One of them has white diffuse material, the other one has chrome material, and what you see me doing right now is I'm adjusting the light to see the amount of shadows they receive and how they interact with the local environment. In some scenes you might need to add a few more lights. This is to infill some shadows, brighten up different parts, or even sometimes to create more interesting details with lights and shadows casted from those lights. I know many of you have been requesting this, and here is it. So basically what you're gonna see me is I've created two different separate shadow catcher materials. One of them will be used for the floor and the other will be used for the walls. Basically the one for the walls will have zero reflectivity, although the walls are reflective, but we're gonna fix that later. And the bottom one, the bottom material, will have high reflectivity, as you can see right now. And now I'm changing the reflection levels to match the reflectivity from those tiles more or less to resemble, and to basically my spheres should be reflected as they are perceived on those tiles. If we don't add reflections on a floor which is already glossy, the chance of producing a fake looking image is huge. When we make a floor reflective, our 3D objects will be partially reflected, and this will add up to the realism of the scene. I know I did not mention in this project that we are going to work with mood boards and floor plans, but guys, honestly, this is for those of you who are sticking all the way across the whole video. So this is the Easter egg of the video. When you're working with floor plans and mood boards, basically your results will be guaranteed that you're succeeding in your results. Basically you're gonna create real virtual stitch image, not just drag and drop some 3D models which everybody can do, just they have to watch my tutorials. But you are not the same, you are very different because you are pro or just about to become pro by watching my tutorials. When I have started adding props to the scene which should match the floor plan and the mood board, you will see me how I change some of the objects quite a few times until I come to agreement with my internal me. In tricky spaces like this one of your main considerations is not only the light, but the settings of the objects and their design. In one word, the staging. If you mess up the design, and you will mess up the design if you don't know how to stage and the staging principles and the design around them. But here's the thing, you can consider yourself to be at the right place and even call yourself very lucky. And the first step in learning how to do all of those really nice things is by subscribing to this channel, as you'll be able to learn not only the virtual staging side, the technicalities and all the softwares, but the staging design rules too. And now let's talk about mood boards. By definition, this is a group of images gathered as references and for guidance of the staging. Gather images of materials from Pinterest, Google, or any website for design. Then, all objects should suit the space, which means they have to have a purpose, not just they have to suit the space, not just any random furniture dropped in the space, which I've seen many times over the internet, but that's secret. Then, gather together all your decorating ideas, any inspiring images, fabric swatches, wallpaper samples, furniture images, even you can do even with text, and create a storyboard out of it, which is called a mood board. Of course, everything should be digital. Then, take a look from basically zoom out and see if you're following a general design line or style, and this will show you that you were on the right path. The three main rules I can give you to follow when creating a mood boards are the following. First, create your base color. In staging, that should be a very light and neutral palette, something like light gray, white, beige, not orange, green or red. Those are not appropriate colors for staging. Second is to add an accent colors, objects or decors. And third, create mood with accessories and light, but do not overdo it. Overdoing the decoration and virtual staging will ruin the idea of the staging itself. If you do your homework beforehand the virtual staging, your fantastic results are almost guaranteed with the use of the mood board. And now let's recap. Every virtual staging must have a main color. Most of the times that's the current color of the rooms, of the spaces. Add hero assets and create mood with light. In this part my recording software messed up and I have lost 10 minutes of the recording. This is the second method which can be used when appropriate. Basically, I've modeled the tiles by hand. I'm talking about the floor tiles. So I've modeled them by hand. I've placed them more or less at the same location with the ones from the photo. Then I've created a similar material with the idea to match the reflections but to reduce the overexposed areas. And this is how I can control independently the floor from the walls. Well done guys, you can tap yourself on your shoulder for this amazing achievement to sticking till the end of this video. I hope this tutorial was helpful at least to one of you. And as always, if you think I deserve it, share this video with your friends, your grandmother, your cat, your dogs and your friends and with everybody. Leave a like and comment. By doing this, you will motivate me to post even more fantastic and great videos about virtual staging. Now, go and watch the video on the screen right now. It will help you to learn even more cool tricks about virtual staging. See you in the next video.